Hey folks, Ian here with Redline to show you our new 200 and 150 ton electric over hydraulic shop presses. One of the first things I want to tell you about these two presses is that they are nearly identical. All of the features that you find on this shop press you will also find on this one. And so I'm going to go ahead and look over everything on the 200 ton and just know that it all applies to the 150. The 200 of course is just a little bit bigger press, a little wider, you know, thicker steel, that kind of thing. So without further ado, let's have a look at the 200. First thing that I want to talk about with these presses is the adjustable grid guard here. This is an aluminum guard, and in order to raise the height of this thing, raise it or lower it, got these little latches over here, and you just kind of raise it to wherever you want it. Flip the latches back in when you're ready, and then let it set into place. Both of these presses come equipped with a 110 volt power pack. This is not a 220 power pack. You would think that for a machine this large you would you'd have to hook it up to some special electricity. Not the case. You can plug it right into the wall. Of course, you've got your lever here for raising the head up and down. You're not going to adjust either one of these screws, and of course you're going to take about 5 to 6 gallons of number 32 hydraulic fluid into the reservoir. I would like to point out that the reservoir has a sight glass on it here. Go ahead and fill this thing up to where it's up close towards the top. Customers love to call us up and tell us that the press isn't running. 99 times out of 100, it's because they haven't put enough fluid in it. I'd also like to point out that this is an oil-filled gauge. It's very important that you sit here and monitor your tonnage as you're pressing to make sure you don't go over the 200 tons. Also, this being an oil-filled gauge, folks generally call us up a decent bit and say, hey, this thing is leaking fluid from the gauge. It's not filled all the way to the top. It's not actually leaking. It's not supposed to be filled all the way to the top. The purpose of that oil in the gauge is to keep that needle from slamming back and kind of uncalibrating itself in the event that you take all of the pressure off very, very quickly. So basically all the oil does is keep the needle moving nice and slow. You will need to supply your own lead when you get your press. There will be nothing going into the top of the box. We do that because a lot of people like to hardwire their presses in. In this case, when we're doing these things just for demonstrational purposes, we just pick up a little 110 volt lead here at Home Depot and wire it right in. This is what the inside of the box looks like. Refer to our website and it'll tell you, we actually have a photo on our website that will tell you when your 3 wires come through here, where all they connect to inside. Just reference that and that'll make quick, easy work of this. Okay, so to adjust the carriage height here, you're going to take the flower clips off. In this case, I'm going to do it on the back side since I'm bringing the pins out the front. Same kind of clips in the back. So I'll grab those, pull them out. They're pretty stiff. Set those to the side. Next thing you want to do is use your winch system to take the pressure of the carriage off of the pins so that the pins can actually move. So I'll rotate my handle here a little bit and I'll kind of grab that thing and try and spin it as I go. And once I can see that it's finally loose, at that time I'll come around and pull the press pins out. And now I'll just do the other side. One of the handier features of these bigger presses are the winch system that's built into it. Just rotate on this handle, raise that carriage up and down. There's also a really neat carriage system built into these presses. So you just rotate that handle and move that press head to the left or to the right, wherever you need it. So you'll notice in here that there's like a train track system that this giant press head runs on. I'll go ahead and bring it in the other direction now. And you have springs that you can see up in there so that as you start putting pressure on that press head, it kind of bypasses the springs, maxes those out, at which time your head actually starts touching up against the frame of it, and then of course everything that the weight transfers, the pressure transfers from here to here, and the springs are not used. So all those springs do is basically just give it something to ride on that little train track system in there. A little bit of safety trivia I would like you guys to know. Never try and press with only one press pin in place. If you got one on each side, believe it or not, you can actually shear one of these pins. We've done it. Sounds like a shotgun going off right next to your head. Make sure that you've got both of these pins in place when you're going to get this thing anywhere near its max capacity. All right, so I get the question all of the time, how fast does the ram extend down as well as retract back to up? And so I'll kind of show you. I'm going to reach over, I'm going to grab this handle, and for the sake of reference, I'm just going to take this quarter, I'm going to kind of hold it right here, give you an idea in terms of length, exactly how fast that head is moving. And I'll go ahead and retract it back, move the lever in the other way. And you can see how fast the cylinder moves. This is your optional Pinpress adapter kit. You do have this adapter that I'll show you here in just a moment how it works into the press. Comes with this handy little rack that mounts right to the side of the press. Comes with 8 total pins along with this little gauge. So what you do is you pick out the pin that is what you ultimately need for your little job. You find there that it's got a little spring-loaded ball valve, and you start going down the list until you find the one that it slides into, and you can see that that pin can withstand 16 tons of force before you destroy it. So naturally, if you're going to use this pin, you would just sit there and watch your gauge to make sure you didn't exceed 16 tons so you didn't kill it. And to use these pins, it couldn't be easier. You just take your little supplied Allen wrench, pull the press head out of the machine, take the adapter, put it in place, run your set screw down, and then take your pin, whichever one it is that you need, and loads right into it just like that. And as a little demonstration for you guys, and really just because it's fun, I'm going to tear up a giant piece of steel tubing here and kind of show you the press in action. All right, and lastly, we'll just kind of zoom on in and give the press a little look over here. I know you guys at home and at work are looking at this thing and you can't really see it in person, so just try and show you what she looks like. There's your little pulley system right down there that operates your winch. Those grid guards that you see there, those safety grid guards, we do carry spares of those. So if you destroy one and it's damaged and compromised, give us a shout. They're not expensive. We'll sell you a replacement. Okay, and that's Redline's new 150 and 200 ton electric over hydraulic shop presses. You can see these on our website, redlinestands.com. You can give us a shout at 901-351-4764 to order or ask questions. We appreciate you taking the time to watch our video.